Hello, ogres, and welcome to Stand for the Fire Demon. We're back!
We are. It's a late night.
This time with different peoples. So last weekend we didn't have Ptyrl because he was a sleepy boy and couldn't play. And then today Buckenwald was not feeling very good in a great area. So he was like, I don't know if I can bring the fire to stand for the fire demon.
And that's one of the few things that we require of our players, that I specifically as the DM require of my players, is to constantly and always bring the fire.
Or be on fire.
Or, yeah, one of the two works.
Yeah.
So Bucky potentially could have just lit himself on fire.
He could have. And would have been okay, and probably would have brought more energy as well.
Yeah.
Honest, if I'm honest.
Very short session, but those 2 or 3 minutes would have been fucking best Twitch you've ever seen. Best YouTube you've ever seen.
Banger. All right, well, Brandon, you want to give us a recap?
Okay, so the last time we ended, you guys, fucking Ptyrl's not even here for this.
I mean, he's got his headphones.
Does he?
Let's kill some time, because can he hear? Because he's gonna get in and be like, guys, where are we?
I can hear it.
Okay, cool.
Good. All right, cool.
All right, so the Striking Vipers had left the tunnel and the temple that you guys were inside of, where you stumbled across a college party. There was some rubble, and a elven woman and a gnome man were having coitus in the corner somewhere, but you frightened them. They thought you were some sort of devil, so they ran from you. And then there was a college party in a shack. You guys, there was like a crack in the ground that ran through the tunnel and up into this clearing that you're in currently, where the shack is, and out of it rose a devil made of like intestines and skin, or no skin, but like muscles and nerve endings and stuff, who addressed you and said that the Lord of Leeches was coming to kill you. And then Tægen just attacked him, and you guys killed him very quickly. When we ended last, to the east here and the west here, there were cracks in the ground coming, and something was rising up from them.
Let me just say, for the record, my character does not approve of elf and dwarven relationships.
It was elf and gnome.
Elf and gnome. Sorry.
Well, it's still that's okay then.
No. Elf, dwarf, and gnome. Basically, he believes that the dwarven DNA is too dominant to be mixed with any other blood.
Okay.
It turns them just into dwarves instead of any other kind of crossbreed.
So why does he think this?
When he was in the war, he was with this really, really burly dwarf dude who just effed everything he came across.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like Johnny Appleseed, you know what I mean? He was just planting them seeds.
Yeah.
Everywhere he went. And every time, boy or girl, it came out looking just like him. It was like he was cloning himself. It was nuts. Now I'm talking ogre dwarf, talking elf dwarf, talking gnome dwarf, dwarf, human dwarf, elf dwarf. Yeah, I can figure that one out.
So as Xoasin is having this discussion, the cracks in the ground open, and there are 2 more devils standing there. They're not wearing any clothing. They are muscle and sinew and intestines hanging out, and they both are standing there with notepads facing in this general direction towards you guys.
As I draw my divine hunger rapier,
They're
I'm going
standing with notepads?
Yes. One of them is looking at you, Xoasin. One of them is looking at Tægen, since you guys are on the map in eyesight.
As I draw my rapier, I'm going to disengage the conversation I was having with Tægen just now and look at them and go, how do you feel about dwarven relationships with other species?
You're addressing the one in front of you?
Yeah.
Well, I would say, really, I believe that if anybody wants to have sex with anybody, it should be all right. Dwarf to dwarf, dwarf to elf, elf to dwarf to gnome, half dwarf.
I didn't say it wasn't all right. I just said they shouldn't have a child.
Well, see, in the hells of Bator, we have many children. And that is,
Take children to hell, you bastard!
That's why I would like to speak with your group presently.
The floor is yours.
The other one, Tægen, is kind of just standing there and looking in the direction as if there was no shack there, like he's looking towards the other chain devil. So he's no longer looking at you. And let me pull up my notes as to what he says.
He says,
Say that again. I was making sure that Meaty was actually showing up in the thing.
The chain
what
devil
now?
in front of you is no longer looking at you. It's looking off towards the other chain devil. So
That has been killed?
no, towards the second one that appeared, or the third
Okay.
one. There's the one here that's talking to Xoasin, and then there's this one in front of you that's no longer looking at you. Xoasin has addressed this chain devil here, who is still... These two chain devils are rising still out of a crack in the ground with like red light and green mist coming from it. It's pretty fucking metal. And it rises out as it continues. Go ahead.
As soon as he looks away, I'm going to go ahead and use my Nature's Veil.
To turn invisible?
As a bonus action.
Fuck him up.
Yep, to turn invisible.
Okay.
So that'll be my bonus action for the turn.
Well, the chain devil was about to speak. So if you want to hold your Nature's Veil, you can, or if you want to be invisible for 6 seconds and make a movement.
As well, just so you know.
Yeah, the one in front of you. So, like, if your intention was to turn invisible and then duck around the corner away from it. But if you were just wanting to turn invisible in case there was an attack or you wanted to sneak attack, this chain devil is about to read something that I wrote. So, it's going to be like 30 seconds.
Okay.
So, it's up to you.
All right, I will withdraw my Nature's Veil.
I'm on my campaigns. Where do you get VTT again?
Click on Stand for the Fire Demon, and then underneath of your character on the left-hand side, it'll say Join VTT.
Okay, thank you. I'm there.
Yep.
Thank you. All there.
All right, so the devil standing in front of you, Xoasin, or 20 feet from you, I guess, speaks up a little bit more so you can hear him in the distance between the two of you, and he says, Greetings. It appears in your confusion you've banished my brother. Let us try to avoid any further confusion going forward. We are the royal transfuser for the Lord of Leeches, scourge of blood packs, and great parasite of the hells. He who crawls in carnage, the squirming vulture, the living incarnation of all Herodinea, etc., etc. He who gorges would like firstly to thank you for dispatching that bothersome bird who's keeping him from entering your world. The slicing of his throat was a stroke of genius, I must say. Very nasty. Our lord drank deeply. And then he kind of nods. The ground has stopped shaking, although this pervasive smell of sulfur and rot clings to the now humid air.
It was a bird that did it, not the bird that was stopping it.
What are you talking about? What bird?
I thought it was a gnome that was doing the thing.
Yeah.
Does he mean like bird as in female?
He,
That's kind of derogatory.
the devil audibly sighs and shakes his head, and he says, I meant a bird as in a bothersome creature, something that pecks and pecks and pecks at you. I meant a metaphorical bird.
I stare at him blankly. Or, well, not blankly, but... what's the word? Unkindly.
Birdily?
Yeah, birdily.
Give him an eyeful of bird.
Wow.
He steps forward, and this one steps forward in unison. Not in like a threatening way, but in just a steps out of the crack way. And this one is not speaking still. He's not looking at you, Tægen. He's still looking in the direction of the other chain devil who is speaking. And he says, I just have a couple of notes for you before the Lord of Leeches himself appears.
Continue.
You, my friend, appear to be some sort of spellcaster.
Yep.
Do you have any sort of salt or seasonings?
Do I? Yeah.
The Lord of Leeches would ask that you smother yourself very clearly with them, as to make his consumption and devouring of you more palatable.
Hey, the one who devours your lord, does he know our lord, Ptyrl?
Oh, Interhog, yes. Very interesting. That's why he's coming, actually, to talk to you. And then potentially devour you. I'm just trying to give you a best case, worst case scenario.
Oh, so we aren't automatically getting devoured. Like, if you had to put a percentile on it, what would you say?
I would say, ironically enough, a bit of a coin flip.
Oh, okay. Does it depend on what we say?
Yes, I will tell you that the Lord loves two things. The Lord loves blood and things that provide blood to him. And the Lord also loves money. Good old-fashioned gold and platinum. So
What's he
if it comes,
spend it on?
he gives it to the Lord Mammon of the third hell of Mineros. I was trying to recall what I read like an hour and a half ago. I was like, shit, I gotta find a hell that this guy comes from.
Well,
of money we have plenty.
what if we just banish you back?
Well, I don't think the Lord would appreciate that very much at all, honestly.
How's the Lord getting here?
Now, he's traveling. It's just very slow. He should be here in the next... He looks down at his sundial watch. His sundial pocket watch, actually. And he says, should be here in the next 2 minutes. So, if you want to show me around, you can. I would love to see what you call this house. Looks
Tægen?
nice.
We have no idea. we just got here ourselves.
Nice.
What was this bird you speak of? What bird exactly was keeping him from coming here? And how?
The gnome that I ripped out his throat.
Oh.
Xoasin may not have been here for that one. Actually, I don't remember
Oh.
if he
What
was there for
gnome?
that battle. But yeah, in the temple there was a small gnome who was performing a ritual. And it was making like a pentagram and he was chanting. And Tægen and Ptyrl took him out.
Why?
And when
Did they talk to him?
Yeah, he
Bucky,
was undead, and
Oh my
yeah, he
God.
had like a gaping face and no eyes and stuff. Bucky went up to talk to him, but Bucky kind of just like flubbed what he was gonna say. So Tægen took him out pretty much. To their credit, as he bled into like the circle that was engraved in the ground, they like cleared out the blood to potentially stop any ritual.
It apparently just failed.
No, it
No,
didn't fail.
You stopped
He was
the ritual of sealing the Lord of the Devourer away. From what I can understand, is that correct?
No, he was trying to summon him.
I thought he was trying to seal him.
No, summon.
you know, he was. Well, regardless of what you think was happening, you did good. You did well.
He said he was trying to summon him.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Weird.
So now, the Lord, and he looks down and he says, you have about 45 seconds left. I would recommend groveling. Goes well with the Lord of Leeches, the Devourer of Worlds, and the Crimson Vulture.
How far is the College of Mages from here?
I don't grovel.
The
see.
Mages College is a continent away.
Why don't
I
we break
say
that plate?
I say very loudly, I don't
It
grovel.
can only take two of us.
Tægen, why don't we break that plate?
Because it'll only take two of us. And we have to be touching each other. I say,
What if we put
I
them
look
in the
down
bag
at-
of holding and break the plate?
I say, we've got about 45 seconds left, you said?
Yep.
Counting,
I say
yes.
we take both of you out, and then take out your lord.
To dinner, he means.
Once we're done with that, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my disappearing act.
Okay.
Also, I can't surprise attack. Never mind.
Yeah, you can. I'll let you take a bonus action to surprise attack if this is the route you guys are gonna go.
I kind of want to hear what the Lord of Leeches has to say, but
Oh, he'll be here.
I mean, yeah, we can listen to him.
Oh, he'll be here.
So I'll take my bonus action to do that, and my move action. Toggle invisible on.
I'm gonna switch to my.
Tægen's all the way
quick
over
because
there.
I
Or
would
is
like
he
to go
supposed to
see-
be over there, or?
Yeah, this is where I had last left off because I was backing away. So I'm gonna activate my, or I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna take a move action. They probably have fucking Devil Sight, which is like True Sight, but whatever. I'll go ahead and move back. Just so I can have some range here on this guy. Actually, how much movement do I have? Just my full movement?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because
Okay, I'll click my heels together and double my movement then.
Okay.
So I'll do 70 feet, and I will just straight up. So I was like here. So I'll go right about here. And
Where are they, by the way?
Where are who?
The devils.
They're on the map. There's one here and one here.
I don't see either of those pings.
You might have to refresh.
Yeah, I'll just take my movement right here. I'll tuck myself in the corner so I can still have line of sight on that guy. Okay.
All right, Xoasin, if you want to get off an attack, you can.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I still can't see. I can see my token and other tokens. I just don't see where they actually are.
I can see the one demon, but I don't see the other one.
Oh, so it's a vision thing. Okay. It's a lighting thing.
So there's a demon here,
Yeah.
and where's the other demon over here?
Over here.
Oh, okay. So that's where he went, was over here.
Can we just reveal the light, Rem? Can you do that? Or can I do that? Because it's daylight. There's like
We
no...
blew- I blew
Yeah,
out
this
like
is
half the building.
Yeah,
too.
if you well, it's more of a line of sight thing is kind of what we're dealing with there.
Okay,
but,
never mind then.
Like if you can't see them, then they're not in your line of sight.
Yeah.
But you can
Who's this? Who's this
yeah,
right here?
just give me a second.
That is a bear that Buckenwald summoned from his bag of tricks. So that bear is going to go on his turn once we roll for initiative. Until it dies.
Okay, I'm running all the way over here, full movement. That's my. Well, I can dash as a bonus action, right?
Yeah, I guess I'll give everybody one turn to do something. So yeah, you took an action, then you can dash as a bonus action.
Well, I took a movement and then dash is my action or my bonus action,
Oh, it's your bonus action, you're right.
and then I will. I'm gonna cast a spell because cast a goddamn spell.
Ptyrl, so you know also, you guys are outside of a cave, like where the awesome boulders are right here. That was the entrance to a collapsed-in kind of path to a cave.
Okay.
You guys are now in an open ravine, so you could fly straight up like... I
Now
don't know
these
how
guys
deep
said
this
they were
ravine is.
devils, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not super deep. You could get up to the top of it and probably like... What's your speed when you're flying? Are you like 100 feet now or something?
Something ridiculous. Yeah, it's something like that.
You are 45 feet. So if you take a full move, it would be 90 feet. So yeah, you could get to the top in, I would say, a round and a half. This isn't like a super deep ravine.
Although I
Okay,
don't think I'm flying to the top. I think I'm going to.
Yeah, I was just giving you a sense of like where you guys are. And what spell are you going to cast, Edison?
I'm gonna cast Magic Circle on Tægen.
No, my
Magic.
walking is 45. My flight is. I can never fucking remember.
Oh, god damn it! I did not mean to close that.
Do I have to be like in line of sight for you to do that, or
I'm
because I'm
looking.
invisible at the
My
moment?
flying is 70.
Okay.
I'm looking. Hold on.
While he's looking that up, Tyrl, you also have an action if there's anything you want to do.
I want to fly up so I can actually see them.
Okay. Yeah, because you don't really know what's going on so far. This all just kind of happened in an instant.
Obviously, I didn't stare at them birdily because I can't see them. But I did say I don't grovel. So I guess whatever one is over here is going to get just my bonus action of Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
All
And
right,
that'll-
wait. I got the.
So you'll need to
10-foot
move to
range.
like here to see it.
Hey, there he is.
Actually, instead, I think I'm going to, instead of that, I'm going to. I'm going to hold a spell until I see the demon from around the corner. If he moves into my area, I'm going to try to banishment on him.
Okay. Everybody go ahead and roll for initiative now.
Okay.
Because we are now in combat. Mon Dieu.
I'm gonna do a another scene real quick that is the DM view for that, just so I can kind of switch between for people.
I go first.
Or unless maybe Buckenwald rolls something amazing.
I got a 10 total.
No, I go first.
I got a 10 total, bitch.
Oh, did you roll a natural 20?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think with initiative, that's a house rule for us, but otherwise, that's not really It is a house rule.
My dice is rolling so
My
slow.
god, last combat Yellow Jacket got a 0
Fucking
for his
lag.
initiative as well.
Was 0? He gets -1?
-2, I think.
Oh, damn. That's rough.
What is it? Oh no, just a -1. He has an intelligence of 8. Yellow Jacket is not the smartest lizard folk out of all of them.
Mm-mm. I got a 9.
But god damn it, he's got
Yeah, he
heart.
does.
Alright, I need to go pee again. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. While you're doing that, I'll get the buttons set up for this. Let's see here. D&D, a bit of VTT toggles. So let's move this up, and this up, and this up, and then we'll do that, and then we'll do this.
Go eat, buddy.
For the DM view. That way we can see the DM's version.
See your version. Like a virgin. Hey.
That'll be cool there. So then I will just copy this button and paste here. And delete that.
So what do you guys think about this Overlord demon? Like, are we gonna smash his shit in? Or is that our only option?
Well, these two were semi-threatening us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We don't know about the Lord yet.
Well, maybe we should, before we hit them with anything, maybe we just wait until the Lord. Well, they did say it was a 50-50 shot. We could just talk him out.
It's very possible. That's what I was wondering myself.
But if we kill them, then it's probably 100% chance we'll have to fight them.
Right.
So, Tægen, I'm gonna try and talk some sense into you. Maybe we should wait before we hurt these guys. If we don't hurt them, we might be able to talk to the one who devours and figure something out.
I mean, he's still gonna show up anyway.
Well, but if he shows up and they're dead, he's definitely
And
gonna
there's a
wanna fight us.
50-50 chance that he's gonna eat us anyway. I mean, you can do whatever. I'm invisible for 6 seconds, so
Well,
if you
but-
want to talk to the Devourer, go for it.
50.
I think it's a terrible idea considering the fact that our Demon Lord and devils don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, but we don't
they're
know
basically
what he wants.
they're
We don't
basically
even know
they're
what does he want.
they're the natural enemy of our Demon Lord. So to me, it's they're encroaching in his kingdom, which is a problem that we need to rectify.
Right. Okay.
So that's where Tægen's head is with it.
That's fine.
All right, Ptyrl, you
Ooh.
are up first.
I kind of want to wait and see. I'm not sure if we're all
You can
delaying, but I think we're.
You
I
can
think
hold
we
your
might-
action.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we
what-
might be all waiting and seeing if we can talk, but I don't know.
All right. Well, what happens on the first Chain Devil's turn? Nothing. The first Chain Devil you guys can't see. Then it's Buckenwald. He, I assume, holds as well. And then we got Chain Devil 2, who's the one up here that you can see, Ptyrl. And he still has his notepad, but he kind of leans backwards a little bit, and his intestines come out like legs and just kind of drag him forwards towards you. He's not dragging like, he's got his notepad, and it looks like he's taking notes and writing something down, and he moves to here. So I know you had a spell prepared, Xoasin. You can try to cast Banishment on him if you want to, because he did come into line of sight. But whenever he stops, he just stops and is continuing to like write, and he adjusts his little round glasses on his big nose.
I'll save banishment. I'll save it. Instead, I'm going to say to him, why does your lord feel the need to encroach upon our lord's kingdom? See if he talks as a free action.
All right, so I'm going to talk to Xoasin. Tægen, while this is happening, think about what you want to do, because I'll talk for a minute and then it's going to be your turn, okay?
Okay.
He says, I'm sorry, what was the question again? You asked him why his lord's encroaching on your realm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Lord has come to challenge your king to a duel to the death, and the winner of that duel, will then control the kingdom of Pyrrha.
Huh.
All of this is, of course, done in the service of Mammon the Viscount, the Lord of Mineros, the third lair of the Hells of Ptyrl.
I chime in from the shadows. I think you mean Viscount.
Damn it, I always mess that one up when I'm reading from my notes. There's an S there. Why is there an S there? Is all I'm saying. Alright, you gonna do anything, Ptyrl? Or not Ptyrl, Tægen?
I'm gonna go ahead and just continue to be where I'm at. I assume it's maybe shadowy right here.
You can roll a stealth versus his
Okay,
passive perception if that's what you want to do to stay hidden.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that. There we go. I like that. Okay. So stealth, passive perception versus. Oh my god. I need to turn off the fucking.
Oh, you're going slow and freezing a minute.
Yeah, I know.
Do a robot. Does your computer do that when you roll the dice?
Fucking apparently. It hasn't been, but apparently it is now. So I'll probably roll in fucking the other one. I got a 17 stealth check to stay hidden. Okay. Even though my nature's veil is dropped.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely beat his passive perception.
Okay.
It is now. If you have another question for him, Xoasin. Oh, hold on one sec. My pizza got here.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I think we're gonna end up having to kill these guys. And do we even have the power level to fight this demon lord, or I'm sorry, devil lord? That's my question. Do we have the power? If he's come to challenge our lord, who's more powerful than us, it seems like he should be pretty powerful.
You would think, but we can also just not. We can always just escape too, so that's an option.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not dropping any frames, so at least that's good.
Okay, I'm back for real this time. Xoasin,
for realsies!
Xoasin, if
I
there's
don't have
anything
any
you wanna
questions. Nothing.
Okay. At this point, the young rat folk runs through the door, and he is holding. It looks big for him because he's so small, but he's holding a baby fawn, like a baby deer. And he drops it on the ground right here. And it looks hurt. And then it is Yellow Jacket's go, and Yellow Jacket kind of moves here to protect Thomas. So now, where would he go? Probably there. Okay. Now we're back at the top of the round. If there's anything else you guys want to do turn-based, we can. Or if you guys want to just skip and wait until the Lord of Leeches, the Devourer, blah, 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 gets here, you can.
I'm down for waiting, but...
Yeah, I'll just wait.
I'll just continue to stay hidden then.
Okay.
Until, if we're just going to wait it out.
I'm going to just keep holding my banishment spell.
I think that's probably the best idea because if nothing else, we can at least try to banish him and then take these guys out. I think waiting is just inviting another enemy to come to the party.
Oh, well.
Tactically, it's not very sound.
I think it's very sound, actually.
I wasn't saying that out loud.
I know. I know you guys weren't having that discussion. Okay, so you guys waited out. As you're standing there, Yellow Jacket kind of moves up to protect Thomas, who moves behind him, and Yellow Jacket bends down to look at the baby fawn out of just his love of being a druid. The two chain devils are still kind of just taking notes, although they've started to square their shoulders as if they're waiting the arrival. Suddenly Yellow Jacket jumps back in shock as the young fawn begins to bloat and get bigger and bigger, like what's her name from Willy Wonka, who eats the blueberry. And the
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet.
Thank you. And
Violet Beauregard.
And then Ptyrl, Yellow Jacket, Xoasin, and Ratfolk roll a reflex. Or not a reflex. They fucking changed it. I forgot.
Dex saving throw.
Yes.
Okay. You sure?
You got nothing. Your dex saving throw is going to be garbage.
12 plus
He only got a 27.
27. That's not even a 30.
12 plus 4. 16.
Okay. This fawn explodes in like a explosion of viscera and maggotry and maggots and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty disgusting. Organs that you don't imagine would be inside of a fawn are spilling out of this comically almost and starting to form like the shape of something.
Kill Bill style.
Yellow Jacket is coated in this shit before he jumps back and then puts an arm and backs up Thomas as well. Ptyrl and Xoasin, you guys can move 5 spaces or 5 feet in a direction of your choice, because this here is where the Lord of Leeches is going to appear.
Bloop. Oh, these are not grids.
Yeah, I haven't figured out how to do that with the map that I have, unless I have to just go and physically draw grid lines.
The right here is going to be the Lord of Leeches, right in front of me.
Yeah, I'll just throw him on the map because he's appearing.
Yeah. Right. Oh wow.
What's the pool of blood?
I don't know. Tell me.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Oh, it's
The gore that he came from.
oh, he got a 5.
Ah!
All right. So this figure of, you guys have seen it once before as you were fleeing, who rose up from the halfling Cospito from his slit throat. This is, imagine like your stereotypical horned, winged devil of some kind holding a trident, but they have no skin, totally flayed off. So it's just like his devil transfusers. He's just muscle and sinew and bone peeking out. You also notice that he has chains around his elbows, like holding him. So he rises up, but he's chained to something. And it appears that he's chained to, like, they go into the ground. So his arms are still free where he can move them, but he's chained to something in the ground that has risen up with him. And he looks at each of you in turn, except for you, Tægen. So he looks at Ptyrl, and then he looks at Yellow Jacket, and then he looks at you, Xoasin. The rat folk has ducked back into the room, or into the shack, terrified. And he kind of cocks his head and he just stares at you, Xoasin. Okay.
Well,
It's cool. I mean, it's just a game. You didn't have to leave.
Get fucked, guys. I'm going to go ahead and roll initiative real quick for Buckenwald.
Okay.
He got a 17, and his black bear...
Okay. Sorry about that.
I'll just use his initiative modifier.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
He got a 15. And then I'll look up the stats for the black bear, too, so I can have it.
I can actually pull him up right here.
I got it.
What'd the black bear get? A 15?
Yeah.
It's a fast black bear. All right. So the Lord of Leeches rises up and stares at you, Xoasin, for a good 30 seconds. Just staring at you.
Wow, okay.
Suddenly a soccer game starts. Or, I'm sorry, a football game starts for our British listeners.
Football.
And then he opens his mouth to speak, and eels just start pouring out of his mouth. in your
Oh,
direction,
really?
like.
Well, you could
And then
talk
this-
rather than vomiting.
That's where I was gonna. I'm just my held banishment. I'm just gonna cast it.
All right.
Okay, what does he have to?
I
As
don't think
he's
it's a whole lot.
as he's doing this, the second chain devil moves up beside him.
Let me check real quick. My save on that is like a 16 or something. Let me check. Check.
17.
17. Yes.
Spell save DC is 17.
And what kind of save is it?
Wisdom, I
No.
think.
The target must succeed on a charisma saving throw
Oh, that's right,
or be
charisma.
banished.
Who are you
Alright.
'Cause
banishing?
you're
The big, the Lord of Thor.
Oh,
Leeches.
All right, so he gets advantage because he has magic resistance.
Okay.
He failed.
twice.
Got a 21.
Hmm.
Son of a bitch.
So what does your banishment spell look like?
Okay. Banishment spell. It's a stream of red runes that extend out from my feet as I put both hands down, and a red beams hit the ground, and at my feet, the magical runes crawl over and circle the target and attempt to shoot light up into a shaft, which would drop them down or shoot them up into whatever.
And he's just
Oh,
like,
man.
man.
Vanished. Yeah.
All right, he's surrounded by the swirling runes, and they start to tighten in to make this beam of light going downwards, or this beam of darkness, I guess. And he just like and breaks them off, and they shatter into the air like glass. And then this chain devil here looks down at the leeches and he says, "Oh, it appears that he likes you so far. You've done very well."
Is that so? I see.
Yes. And the Lord of Leeches turns to you, Ptyrl, and then he burps and like a spider crawls out of his face. You not so much, little bird. But I think we can work with this, perhaps.
What makes you say that he doesn't like me so much?
Did you see his face, his reaction? He doesn't actually speak himself. We are his transfusers. We take in what is said to us and then relay it to him.
How do you relay it to him?
Through the telepathic link in our brains.
We could work something out here.
Anything to nerf the monk.
What do we need to do here to walk away from this? Allow your lord to go about his business.
The Lord of Leeches turns back to you with a big smile, and then this chain devil approaches to here and reaches into a pouch and starts to pull out a big scroll. Looks like a contract of some kind. And you notice that both of these chain devils speak in the same voice, and when one speaks, now that they're close enough that you can see them, when one speaks, the other one kind of mutters the same thing at the same time, like maybe they're of one brain or something. And he says, "It's very simple. Our most disgusting one would like you to sign this contract that you will deliver a message to your demon king that he is officially challenging him to a duel to the death for control of the kingdom of Pyrrha."
What's the fine print?
The fine print is the fine print. I mean, I don't know what you want from me. You will deliver this message, and that's about it. You'll deliver the message.
I'm going to, before I read it, or before I sign it, I'm going to, if I sign it, I'm going to cast would comprehend languages allow me to read it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to say to him, it'll take me just a moment to review this contract. As possible.
No, wow.
Oh, I didn't know. I take that back. It's
No, he has to touch
broken.
the surface, but he can read it as well.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Must be
The
touching
contract.
surface.
The contract is very long as he pulls it out, but it's all on one sheet, like a scroll. I would say it'll take you about 10 minutes to read it. If you're going to go page by page and just read everything, it's about 10 pages.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, totally. I need to know what's in here.
If you agree to it, we also need a notary. Is anyone a notary? I'm a notary.
Criminal background, I can probably forge a notary.
Yeah, Ptyrl, you definitely have a notary stamp.
Yeah.
It's not legally binding, but it's
No, it's not
definitely
you.
a stamp.
It's not your name. But... Okay, so Xoasin, you read it over.
You're gonna get a $200 fine up to jail time. Whosever's that is.
You read it over, and it basically is pretty straightforward as far as you deliver this message to Introg himself. If you don't deliver the message, your souls are forfeit to the Lord of Leeches in the third hell of Bator.
I mean, we're on our way there anyway. It's not going to be that big of a deal to deliver it. It's more of what's going to happen if we deliver it anyway to us.
You do notice in the contract that there is no, I think I'm pronouncing this right, recompense. You guys get nothing for delivering this message. There's no benefit to you doing this outside of not losing your souls. And that is actually listed as a benefit under what you guys get is not losing your souls.
Good news, bad news. If you don't deliver it, you lose your souls. If you do, it's fine.
That's actually a really fair contract from a devil.
Right?
So I'm going to tell the rest of the group exactly what it says and say, should we ask for some sort of payment for this service rendered?
Are you staying hidden, Tægen, for these 10 minutes?
100%.
Okay.
Mayhaps, although the contract, I pipe up. It might be worth seeing if we could. However, that contract is very fair. From, hang on, maybe. Do I know anything about devils, or just lore? Maybe I know about devil contracts.
I'd say you can roll a history.
Probably Dick. Nope, I know everything about them.
Damn.
That contract is very fair coming from a devil. I say,
Basically,
smoking my
yeah.
pipe and checking my pocket watch.
There's always, as Xoasin is explaining this to you, there's like a subtext to it that if he wins the fight, your souls are also his.
Yeah.
Xoasin read it out to you, but you managed to pick up a couple little bylaws in there that Xoasin had missed.
Yeah,
so
well,
the contract is, if you don't deliver it, his souls are yours. If you do deliver it, he potentially challenges Interog to a fight, and if he wins, then your souls are his as well.
Yeah, so here's how it works. If he wins, we give him our souls are his. If we don't deliver it, our souls are his. If we deliver it and he loses, we're free. Is what I'm gathering out of this contract.
What if we just don't deliver it?
He takes our souls.
No, I mean, what if we just don't sign it?
Oh, well,
Oh, if it's very simple then. If you don't sign it, the Lord will devour you, in much his namesake explains. The Lord of Leeches turns to you and gives out like a loud roar, and maggots just like bleh, and a 5-foot cone out of his face.
and he doesn't, it's not a language, right?
I'm gonna say no, because if this is a language, this is far beyond even the monk's ability to understand like spoken languages. This is like mimery.
What if instead we choose one of us to sign this contract and we'll escort them?
I see no problem with this as long as the message is delivered.
I'm gonna call over the bear. Bear.
You're muted. No.
I'm gonna call the bear over.
The bear is not one of us, though.
The wild bear?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna look over at Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket, can you speak to this bear for us and have him sign this contract?
Yellow Jacket moves over and puts his hand on the bear's forehead and begins to speak. And he turns to you and he says, I must cast this as a ritual. It will take me 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. We have time. The negotiations are not to be rushed.
Bucky just says, "Bear, sign the contract." It's his bear. It's his summon, so he can tell it to do it.
The Chain Devil looks at you and raises an eyebrow and he says, surely you can't think that this would be acceptable, that I would let a... and he chuckles in spite of himself and he says, that I would let a bear sign a contract. How is a bear going to deliver a message?
Bucket. Oh, hold on. Buckenwald says, it doesn't say who has to sign it, and also don't call me Shirley.
I was gonna say, yeah, it doesn't actually specify in the contract.
You already said one of us was acceptable. This bear is one of us at this time.
This bear is one of you. You've traveled with this bear. This bear has told many stories, and you've heard many stories from this bear, is what you're telling me.
It doesn't matter how long we've known the bear. The bear travels with us.
The bear is one of us. You did not stipulate how long the bear needed to be one of us. He's one of us.
And where did the bear come from?
The bear came from where
The
bears
sack?
come from.
This sack.
A wood somewhere.
Yeah, he was summoned from this sack from wherever his woods were.
I'm gonna try a persuasion. If maybe someone wants to help me, or maybe I can help someone else do a persuasion.
You're helping Bucky.
I have to admit, I don't know a lot about...
Buckenwald can do... Oh, yeah, Buckenwald will definitely do a fucking persuasion
I'll help
check.
Buckenwald persuade.
Yeah, for sure. Hang on. Skills... Persuasion, because he's fucking persuasive as fuck.
We agreed
That's a
to
plus
escort
6
this
twice.
bear, for sure.
He got a 25 on the first one and 18 on the second one, so a 25.
We will make sure no harm comes to the bear as he delivers the message to our lord.
And what does Buckenwald say, Tægen?
But Buckenwald actually says what Xoasin just said.
Buckenwald just gives a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Well, even the bear can deliver the message as it is written here, so that nothing is misunderstood. We'll duplicate it.
Yeah.
And
You can trust us, Buckenwald
even
says.
take it in triplicate in case something happens to one of the copies.
I mean, yes, but to sign a contract, you must understand what is written on the contract, and in this...
Listen.
The bear.
Listen.
We can
The bear listens to me and I understand it.
and he can explain it to the
So, the bear walks over, dips his hand in some of the gore that the devil came up from, and holds up his paw,
bear. I love it.
ready to stamp the the fucking contract.
All right.
They liked me for a reason.
Devils getting gotcha'd at their own fucking game.
I rolled a intelligence check for the
Mhm.
Chain Devil, and I got a 9.
Mm-hmm.
So the devil is perplexed by this.
I mean, my 25 persuasion pretty much trumps that.
We've met the stipulations. He said one of us. I just asked him for one of us. He said yes. And the bear is one of us. And he can understand it because Buckenwald can tell him. The bear understands Buckenwald. And he will do it because Buckenwald can command the bear.
Because I told him
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
Yeah.
All conditions have been met, and we will deliver the message, and that is the ultimate goal here.
Yeah, it all seems right to them. None of them beat the check. They all got intelligence checks very low. They're not
Did
very
we ruin
intelligent.
DM plans again?
No. So yeah, they kind of
It's just an outcome.
they kind of look confused, but then they start to add it up in their head, and they move side by side and discuss, and then they lean into the Lord, and the Lord kind of sweats another kind of gross leech or something, and they discuss for a while, and then one of the chain devils comes out and he says, "The Lord agrees to your terms. You will have this creature deliver the message to your king, otherwise his soul is forfeit." He holds out the scroll to the bear.
The bear high fives the scroll.
I pull out my notary stamp and dip it in the gore and.
All right, you notarize it as well. And the bear puts the stamp of the bear claw gore onto the scroll, and it hides a lot of the scroll because the bear paw is so big. And the devils smile, and he says, "Very well. Then the contract is complete, and we will, as we like to say, see you in hell." And then they just like drop through the ground like there is no ground, including the Lord of Leeches, although he lowers a little bit slower, still chained at the elbows.
Weird. That was a close one. Holy shit.
I come out of hiding and I say, "You guys are fucking ridiculous," and I can't believe that succeeded.
Let me just say, it was something that just came to me in the moment. I didn't want to lose my soul. Our souls are on the line.
That is now lore that needs to be added to Ptyrl. If you want to take notes, I know everything about devil contracts.
Okay.
Well,
All right, let's go. Tægen says, just dumbfounded.
All right, you guys have with you also 4 college students. You have an elven woman, you have a human male, and the elven woman and the human male are arguing very loudly. There's
Should have
also
just had one of them sign the contract. They're useless.
there's also a dark gnome. I can't remember what they're called. Svirfneblin.
yeah,
And I
sorry,
can't
Trevor.
remember what the
Svirfneblin.
last thing was. There was one more.
They're just
So which ones are arguing again?
The elven... Okay, so whenever you first came out of the tunnel, you found the elven woman and the
Right, the gnomish
the
kid,
gnome.
yeah.
It's not a kid, it's a college student. Because
Yeah, he's a kid.
otherwise that would be weird. Who had just finished up having sex. So whenever you came out of the tunnel, you found the human male in bed with, we'll say, a kobold woman, and the elven woman is confronting the human male about cheating on her. And
Again.
the argument is getting heated.
Didn't I already tell them once to knock it off?
Oh, you did. You can't.
Okay, so
even
as-
Tægen cannot stop love.
As I walk by them, I give the little gnomish guy the biggest like Gibbs smack in the back of the head.
Okay.
As I walk by, and then just completely ignore them as I continue on.
He says, "I wasn't even arguing." All right, so all of you continue on forwards. I don't have a map for this, so we're back to Theater of the Mind.
Yep, maps off.
You travel up through this canyon, and it's not too far, honestly. Maybe like 15 minutes. And as you are traveling, you see a cart broken and pushed off to the side with boxes overflowing. You can stop if you want to, or you can pass it and continue on.
You can
towards the
stop
city.
if you want to.
You can
What
stop
is it
and check it
overflowing
out.
with?
Crates and barrels and boxes.
Well, I'm at least gonna go check. I'm gonna walk up
Yeah,
to them and
quick
check the contents.
preliminary search.
It looks like
bar out of my pack and pop the crate.
Do an investigation check.
Investigate.
I will help him investigate.
11 plus.
He's giving you the help action.
Okay, 11 plus 9 is a 20, and then 8 plus 9 is a 17.
So 20.
So 20.
I have a 9 investigation. Holy sh!
so you got a 20 total.
Yeah.
Okay, this is filled with potions or some sort of liquid in very obvious stereotypical potion bottles like you would imagine in a lab.
Can I detect?
There's a cork stopper on each of them.
Would potions be magical if I detect magic?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna detect magic
Okay.
on the whole cart.
It's not magical.
Not identifying, just checking, of course.
Dude, he said it was magical.
That's my second first level spell, so.
Okay, so you cast Detect Magic.
Mhm.
Okay, it tells you what they are.
No,
It tells-
just
it
tells
tells you
me
what-
if there are actual magical potions or just tinctures for like medicine.
Oh no, these are definitely magical potions. And as you're casting the spell and going over the cart, you find like a torn cloth, big, like almost a banner that would hang on the side of the wagon. And the banner says "Joke's on you," except "you" is spelled EWE.
Is the cart
Tægen
turned
has
over?
continued walking, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna take like 4 of these potions and label them specifically so I know they're from this cart and
Okay.
walk along after that.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. The college kids, Buckenwald is still wrapped up like a mummy, by the way, so the college kids have kept their distance from him.
I'm gonna ask them, do you know anything about this cart?
It's been there about a week or so.
You know how it got to be here?
I don't know, a horse maybe? A big goat?
Maybe a you.
Yeah, yeah. Joke's on You is a shop in Racine, so we assume that it's from there.
Oh, wait a minute. Can we have the bear pull this cart to the next town so that we can return this cargo to them?
Buckenwald says, I mean, yeah, we can probably hitch it up.
We're going to attempt to do that.
Whoever is best, roll a handle animal, or whoever wants to try to connect the bear to it. I know the Buckenwald will get the bear to do it, to command it, but this is more to like cinch it on the bear. And
I have a
get-
+1, so I'm not very good. If I have the best, I'll try. But
I have a +4.
And what does Tægen have? Tægen only has a 2 in animal handling, so if you have a +4, then you can do it. Also, Tægen's just basically left you guys.
All right,
That's a
so
19.
are you scouting ahead, Tægen, or are you just kind of walking ahead?
I'm walking and I'm kind of like stuck in my own head for a second, just like trying to figure out why in the fuck we didn't just A, kill these devils, and B, how they managed to talk them into letting a bear sign a contract.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of dumbfounded and in his own head. Once he realizes that he's like alone, he stops and just waits.
Okay. So you wait about 10 minutes, and then you see the college students, Xoasin, Buckenwald, Ptyrl, and the upturned cart that says "Joke's on You" being pulled by a bear.
I don't remember how long this fucking bear lasts.
Forever now.
Until we need it to not to, I guess.
So you continue onwards up the path out of the ravine, and you see swampland everywhere. But you also see a main road. You guys are familiar with this. Anybody who has been to Racine before, so Ptyrl, you're familiar. Tægen, you're familiar. Xoasin, I assume that you have been to the capital city at some point?
Yeah.
No. You have?
Right,
Okay.
right before deployment, the blood fields of Ptyrl.
Okay. I'm going to say Bucky has not been there because of his training. He trained at Fort Cavan. So yeah, you guys see Racine as you travel along the path. You see Racine coming into view, and it's not a very large, as in tall city. It's built into the swamp, so it's kind of lower to the ground for the most part. And you can see it rising in the distance dramatically as you crest a hill. The sun is setting, and as the bear pulls the cart, as the sun finishes setting, the bear blinks out of existence, and the
hold on.
falls
I
to a
was just getting ready to tell you, doesn't vanish until the next dawn or when it's reduced to 0 hit points, whichever comes first.
Okay, so you've got a day with the bear.
Yep, we've got a day with the bear.
All right.
So the bear just pulls that fucking cart, yo.
Yeah. And it's a little early, but that's where I'm going to end it because I thought you guys were going to have a fight. So we'll begin next time with you guys getting into Racine and the hijinks that ensues there.
Yeah, I was just wanting to take this. My whole thing is I think once we get into Racine, we should return this cargo. If they're missing it, and then also if we can find a mage who could teleport this bear with the contract to. Oh wait, the capital city is where Interog is, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we're in the capital city.
We need to go directly to Interog before dawn.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, alright. Wow.
So yeah, that's all I
Pretty
have.
much.
But if there's anything you want to do or talk about or anything, it's characters you can. You have about a 2-hour ride.
I pretty much agree with 2-hour ride to the U shop.
To the capital.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but I'd like to stop my jokes on you first, you know?
Yeah.
We might get enough payment to like buy a horse and see if they'll let us keep this cart, and then give them the whole goods back, since this is a pretty big shipment. It looks like.
And we need to keep the cart for
Whatever.
Cart stuff. Yellow Jacket says cart stuff.
For what? Cart stuff? Oh, okay.
I mean, one of us gets injured, we need to get back to town. Cart stuff.
Do you know,
cart
in the
stuff.
darts, carts are very rare. It is hard for them to travel through the swamps.
Mm-hmm. I do know that, actually.
I
Swamp's one of my favorite territories.
Imagined, I've heard they have some sort of wind boat.
Yes, they are called muck sleds.
Muck sled.
Thomas is riding in the cart as you guys are traveling, and I imagine you're going at not a very fast pace because you have a bear pulling a cart and you're on foot.
Yeah.
Those are powered by ballooned windworms, aren't they?
Some sort of worm creature, yes. In our native tongue, we call them, and then he says something in Draconic.
Hey, I know exactly what he said.
Fuck. He says floaty wiggle guy in Draconic.
Roughly translated, of course.
Yeah.
It's not roughly translated. I know word for word what he said.
They
he
call
said
them
floaty
wiggle guys.
Well, but for the common tongue, we don't have exact words that mean the same. We just have a rough translation.
But yeah, you see Thomas is in the cart, and he is like very clearly holding this dagger that was given to him by the burned man as well. And you can tell that he has a lot on his mind as you ride forward.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the cart, noticing him doing that,
Okay.
and I'm gonna pick his brain a little bit.
Okay.
So as he just kind of stares at the dagger, I'm gonna ask him, what's going through your head there, big guy?
Well, I've seen a little bit now of what the king did with the elves in that temple in the city that we just traveled through.
Yeah.
Buried underground. I don't know why he would do that. That seems so evil.
Well, your father, as you are demons. And by and large, demons do evil things. However, over the past few hundred years of your father ruling here on the material plane, he has changed his views. He has realized that while he has done evil things, ruling a kingdom and being responsible for all of the people that are under his rule, that there is more to life than simply conquering and ruling with an iron fist. He can still be rather brutal, but for instance, he doesn't suffer what's the word that I'm looking for? People who no
Insolence?
No. People who like turn
Traitors?
like traitors. Yeah, he doesn't suffer traitors very well. They are usually put to a quick end, but it used to be that there was no question. Now, he will at least let them say their piece. But by and large, the past few hundred years, from what I have seen as an outsider, have been quite prosperous.
So you serve you are very observant of the king.
I am at least observant of the actions in the kingdom, as I don't speak to the king very often. In fact, I've only met him once. And that was at a brief meeting with the heads of the elite squads.
But what I'm saying is you serve the king loyally.
Yes.
And if I rise to king, will you serve me as loyally?
Of course. The travesty that you have seen from hundreds of years ago in the temple there, that is a way that elves in Orkenray are treated now. So while there are few elves here today in Pyrrha, because of what your father did several hundred years ago, I have always been treated here, and the other elves that I have seen who have taken up homes,
refuge
here in Pyrrha, all are treated as equal citizens. So
we did have elves come through the monastery sometimes, and they always seemed pretty happy. Cold, some of them were poor, but they always found refuge in the monastery.
Which is certainly something that a monastery would provide. But that being said, I've lived in the kingdom for going on 15 years after being captured. And as I said, I've always been treated well.
Will you stop me if I go to attack my father?
I think I would ask you why you would want to.
To rise to the throne, I guess. If that's just what my blood is, if I'm a demon, as you said, then that's the way of the demon, I guess.
But your father has renounced that. So he has
Turn
renounced the
around
way of the demon.
Say, has he? On the front of the cart by Bucky.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that's something that Brandon has told us.
Roll history. What should I roll there to see if I know if that's true? Because I'm like legit trying to think myself.
You can roll a history.
Ooh, an 18? 18 plus. It's the VTT. Alright. 4, so 22?
22, okay. So for all intents and purposes, he has renounced all of his demonhood. Whenever you go into any of the major cities, there aren't like demonic figures and effigies hanging in places or anything. They don't worship the abyss. So he has
sort of like a rogue demon, and that's why another like a devil would come to challenge him. Or
we'll say what you know from history is he turned against what is the big guy's name? Remington. Orcus.
Mm-hmm.
Orcus, yeah.
He turned against Orcus and tried to rise up. He was banished to this world where he first and foremost raised an army and attacked Ptyrl and took it over since he was banished.
Kingdom. Right,
Yeah.
But since then has ruled essentially like a regular king of any other species?
After he took control, yeah.
I quip. I chime in and say, haven't you ever heard of closing the goddamn... No. I say the ways of the throne are not mine to understand.
Where do you stand on this, Ptyrl?
Do or die.
That's what I just said.
Even though you don't understand it, do you have an opinion on it?
Better to go with the demon you know than the devil you don't. Ha! Get it?
This actually gets a small smile out of Tægen.
I know from the little bit in the monastery I studied.
Plus, I also say, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Brandon, but I also say, also the challenger is known for eating everything. I don't know about you, but I'd prefer to not perish by...
His take was on the younger one rising to power with the dagger the Burnland gave him.
Having traveled with the young one, I don't see that he'd be much different than his father in the way that he would rule. Seems like he's fair, though he may have things that he might want to learn from his father before ascension. But what those lessons could be, I don't know.
I'm going to turn around and say to Thomas, the burned man had a convincing story, but also you have to realize
He is from a long time ago.
he's from a long time ago, and he had a specific grudge against the king. Very, very specific grudge against him. The genocide was almost necessary to establish the now kingdom of Ptyrl.
But I've heard stories of just your exploits in the Bloodfields of Ishtar and the things that you've done.
We were forced to do, yes. Well, I mean, the flip side of that coin is Minotaurs are a savage race, and they were coming not only to rule, but to decimate and enslave the entire inhabitants of Ptyrl. We had to Fight fire with fire.
Make no mistake, had they taken over, it would not be quite so easy living as it is now, so to speak.
I understand.
So Tægen chimes back in. So ultimately, it is up to you to decide on whether or not that knife is going to be used against your father. But I hope that you take the words that we have given you with a heavy weight, because the things that you have experienced thus far from the Burned Man and the Temple, those are from a long time past, and a person who has proven their ability to change should not be necessarily destroyed for the things that they've done in their past.
My father has lived a long time. He lived centuries before I was even born.
It may even be worth talking to him about.
And I will say that Orcus, the Demon King, the true Demon King, of whatever the realm that is that the demons come
Insert
from.
realm here.
Yeah.
The Abyss.
The Abyss. He is an incredibly powerful being, and for your father to renounce and turn against him, and then be subsequently banished to this plane, instead of outright destroyed, is also something to note. So while your father, once he was immediately after being banished here, continued that demonic evil when he first got here, which resulted in the destruction of the elves of this area and the taking of...
Way to make him feel better.
taking of...
the capital city.
I was trying to... I don't remember what the name of it was.
Morlé.
Nelore. He has since, again, like I said, proven that he is a good ruler and has stopped such massive incursions of stealing away land by force. Now he has become more diplomatic. He has become more measured in his age.
I don't know if I could rule, you know?
Ruling is a big deal, for sure.
Again, that is something I mentioned earlier about you maybe needing to learn things from your father himself.
Yes, a ruler has all kinds of people surrounding them who provide them with information about the kingdom, provide them with ways to, viziers and viscounts and
Advisors,
all of these people
strategists
who keep track of all of the things in the kingdom. And the ruler's job is to make those tough decisions about things within the kingdom, whether it be to protect or to expand or to create things with other kingdoms,
relations,
treaties with other kingdoms for stuff.
Trade, peace.
Yeah, exactly. So you would not be alone once you finally got to become the ruler. And as you know, demons are long-lived, and your father has plenty of time to teach you about the ways of ruling, and you have a lot of time to learn and to observe and soak this in yourself.
And formulate your own method using your values and his combined, most likely.
Why did he send you to the monastery? Do you know why he sent you away instead of raising you by his side?
The monk said that it was some sort of promise with my mom.
Dun dun dun.
All right. That's where we'll end
Yeah,
for real, because I
well,
gotta
yeah.
pee.
No doubt. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. That was a pretty good lore dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have made it to Racine. Next episode, I will have a description of the city. Before I give it a description, imagine in your head I'm stealing a lot of it from the basis and layout of New Orleans. So
Nice.
imagine New Orleans in your head as I describe it, because this is a coastal swamp city.
Gotcha. All right.
Nolans.
Are the levees dry?
Nolans.
You got to take your Chevy there to find out.
Oh God, I hate both of you. All right, you guys say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right, so thank you all for watching. For those of you who stuck around during the live show, appreciate you very much. Tune in next time when we will reveal the kingdom of Ptyrl, the capital city of Ptyrl. So if you want to catch up, you can always go to the YouTube and catch up. There's also the vlog on Twitch. There's probably one or two of the previous ones up. If you're just trying to catch up with the storyline as it is right now, there are a few of the older episodes. 4 stand for the Fire Demon Reedy. Since we lost all the first 30 episodes when we first started off on this. And yeah, tune in next week as long as we're all here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.